Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. So this video is for people who have actually made profits in the stock market. So FNO traders, please go away. That will only make you jealous. There is no point in watching this video. So I'm already warning you so that you guys don't feel jealousy and all that. Okay. So okay, now welcome all rich people, all people who have made a lot of money this year in the stock market. On this video, I'm going to help you save a lot of taxes legally, because बहुत सारे लोग यार मेरे को निर्मला सीतारमन जी के साथ टैग कर देते हैं, सेवी के साथ टैग कर देते हैं, हाय टैक्स बचाना बता रहा है. These are all legal means that I'm going to speak about. I'm going to explain the concept of tax loss harvesting, how to do it properly, how do I do it properly. I'm going to share the entire data. So let's quickly jump on to my actual account, and here is my tax P&L for Zerodha. So you can see that, so I am on a short term realized profit of 28 lakhs and long term realized profit of 72 lakhs, and this is for the year 2023 2024 Q1 Q4. ये equity segment की बात कर रहा हूँ. Just very quick points that Zerodha is not the only account that I use. I have multiple trading accounts. I do not believe in the concept of monopoly. So why make only Kamats rich? Let's make everyone rich. So from that angle, I use Grow account also, Upstocks account also, all that stuff. Okay. So सिर्फ ये account नहीं है. I'm just using it as an example, right? So this is one. That मेरा 1 करोड़ के आसपास का profit है from this year, which has been realized. Okay. Now in India, the short-term capital gains tax on equity is 15%. And long-term capital gains tax is roughly 10%, right? So ये 15% हो गया, ये 10% हो गया. अब average मान लेते हैं just for the ease of mathematics, right? So यहाँ पे average आप मान लो कि मेरे में 12.5% tax लगेगा, 12.5% tax. So on this 1 crore, if I do no tax loss harvesting, my capital gains will be 12.5% on it. So I'll have to pay how much tax? 12.5 lakhs. Please remember this number, very, very important number, because अब I'm going to just take you through a list of stocks that I have sold and how much I have sold it for, and उससे मेरा tax कितना बच जाएगा. So let me quickly take you to the Excel spreadsheet which I have shared on community member post also today, and I'm going to start speaking about it quite extensively from tomorrow onwards कि आप किस तरीके के stocks में कर सकते हो and why you should be selling some stocks. Very, very important week. So in case you are not a regular member of my YouTube member community, please become one. It's a very important community, I would say. बहुत quick updates मिलती हैं. It only cost little bit of money, not extensive high pricing नहीं है कुछ भी. It's only for serious members, people who are really interested in learning about stock market. You will find the link in the description box to join it. So please go and check it out. So now let me quickly share that Excel spreadsheet with you, and important बातें सुन लेना यार, please don't jump to conclusions. So this is the total loss making stocks that I had, and I have pretty much sold almost everything, right? And मेरा total loss निकल के आ रहा है करीब करीब 38 lakhs, right? And अब मेरा capital gains कितना हो जाएगा? So my capital gains was 1 crore. Now because I have sold 38 lakhs of loss making stocks, so I'll have to deduct 38 lakhs from it. So 62 lakh becomes the amount on which I will have to pay capital gains tax, and on an average मैं मान के चल रहा हूँ short term long term मिला के at 12.5%. So कितना बना, right? This will be roughly how much? Approximately 7.75, right? So थोड़ी बहुत math इधर उधर हो सकती है, so please don't mind that. I'm just explaining you the logic. So this is the final amount of tax that I will be paying. Initial case A में कितना था, where I was not doing anything, right? So what was I doing there, right? I was paying roughly 12.5 lakhs. अभी केस बी में कितना है? How much am I paying? I am paying 7.75 lakhs. So करीब करीब 5 lakhs is something that I am able to save in terms of tax liabilities, legally speaking. So does it make sense to do tax loss harvesting? The short answer is 100% yes. You should do tax loss harvesting. आप बोलोगे कि नुकसान हो जाएगा, stock बढ़ गया तो this that stuff. Let me answer all those questions also, but let me explain some very important points first. So just to reiterate 3 critical points, and then I will go into the mechanics of selling कि आपको किस तरीके के स्टॉक्स बेचने चाहिए वगैरह वगैरह. प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड दीज 3 critical points. Number 1 is that it is 100% legal to do tax loss harvesting in India. But छोटी छोटी सी चीजें होती हैं, जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल let's say that today you are sitting on a loss of HDFC Bank. You sell it today, okay? And then you say कि चलो यार my loss I have booked. Let's say that you booked like 1 lakh rupee of loss क्योंकि HDFC Bank hasn't really moved over the last few months. So you might be sitting on a little bit of loss there. So you sold this, you booked 1 lakh rupee of loss. आपकी tax liability कम हो गई. Now next day or today itself, for example, if you buy it today, right? So वो हो जाएगा intraday trade, right? Intraday हो जाएगा वो, and if you sell it कि वो दिन में बढ़ गया and all that. So please avoid this. I'm not getting into the details of it, right? So please avoid doing this. That's A. इसके बारे में आपको थोड़ा सा ध्यान रखना है that please take delivery of whatever you're selling. If you're selling something today, don't rebuy it on the same day or even the next day. एक आध दो दिन wait कर लो, right? That's A. Second is that please move to a different asset altogether if you can. For example, if you have sold HDFC Bank, then move to something else. Buy like Kotak Bank or buy like Bank Nifty. Some similar type of asset आप खरीद लो. That is much better from a legality point of view. Now, why am I saying it? So here is a snippet from Zerodha, and what you will see is कि जैसे different countries होती है. For example, US में there is something called as wash sales, जिसमें लोग बड़े स्मार्ट बनते हैं कि you know what, आज हम we will do like tax loss harvesting, अभी कल ही खरीद लेंगे, right? या we'll buy it like after 4-5 days. तो offsetting हो जाएगी. Now this is not legally permitted in the US. In India there is no clarity of rules, so one could say that it is legally permitted, so to say. अब हो सकता है यार बहुत जल्दी रूल आ जाए, तो मुझे माफ़ कर देना इन केस दिस रूल चेंजेस इन द नेक्स्ट few months or few years. I cannot comment on that, but as of now it is legal. There is no problem per se. Okay, but in the US it is illegal. That's an important point. Even in the UK, I do not invest there, but I think that it is illegal to do that, and it is known by a different name. So to cut the long story short, in India right now it is legal. But होता क्या है इंडिया में कि tax scrutiny आ जाती है if you are sitting on a big portfolio. For example, if I have booked a profit of 1 CR, yeah, मैं तो scrutiny पे आऊँगा ही, because I am not a government YouTuber to begin with, okay, and my tax liability will be huge, so I will get scrutinized. So for a person like me कि यार मैंने आज HDFC बेच दिया, right, and कल खरीद लिया, and then it becomes like a problem, right? So this thing can be a little bit of problematic for me because my amount or volume is very high. Now you might not come into scrutiny, right? I mean, if you are trading on a small volume and all that stuff, so it might not be a big deal from that angle for you. But just from a safety perspective, I will recommend that you move to a different asset and at least wait for a couple of days जो settlement cycle complete हो जान दो, उसके बाद you buy something from that money. So that is what I would recommend from a safety practicality purpose. I hope that you get that. Now comes a very natural question कि यार अच्छा पैसा आ गया है, rotate कहाँ करें, right? Because market is so high, so much stuff is going on. Let's wait for the market to come down, this, that. See, it's very important to create an opportunity bucket right now in the market. So it makes sense that whatever losses, profits that you are booking, if you're getting some money in hand, you put it in a safe kind of an asset which will give you decent returns. There is a Holi Sale going on Incred platform. I will just quickly show you how to use Incred platform in order to do bond investing. You guys can check out this brief clip, and here is how you invest in bonds via Incred. I use bond platforms like Incred Money and a few others for my bond investing. I'm showing Incred Money's platform right now because they have a Holi Sale going and you can get good quality bonds at 13% returns. By good quality, I mean that bonds with credit rating of BBB plus and with credit rating of BBB and better, also called investment grade bonds. Interest rates are highest right now and it is the best time for you to invest in bonds and park your profits. So after you have invested a little bit of money in an alternate asset class like bond, you can come back to the equity market and you can start exploring a lot of options. And there are 3-4 key options that I will suggest you to explore, but let me quickly explain this point क्योंकि कभी-कभी high level points निकल जाते हैं. That मान के चलो कि after selling all these stocks I am at a loss of, I have booked the loss of 37 lakhs, but in stocks को बेचने से I got some money in hand. No, that I sold these stocks, I got some money in hand. Let's imagine that I got like approximately 70 lakhs, right, of money, and I have booked roughly like whatever 37% loss or something like this on this entire thing. So 70 lakhs are there. Now what do I do with this 70 lakh? That is a very important point, and that is reinvestment risk. This is a very, very important point for you to understand because now you have 3-4 key options. कि आपने ये सारे stocks बेचे, right? After 4-5-6 days or like next month, you reinvest this money back into these stocks only, right? So that's option 1. That what do you do? That you buy the same stuff. This is your option 1. Number 2, you move to a different asset. For example, by selling, let's say मेरे को स्कोप नहीं दिखता GMM Fodler and Divi's लैब में कि यार ये सब फार्मा चल नहीं रहा है, केमिकल्स की चाइना एंटी डंपिंग चल रही है and all that stuff. I'm not going to do all this. I'm just going to move to a different asset altogether, so to say. So I might do a sector rotation. I might go and buy like more financials, or I might go and buy something like auto, right? I'm considering both of these. Again, tomorrow I will write a post. Why am I looking at two-wheeler companies when it comes to auto? Which two-wheeler companies am I analyzing, and why I will rotate some of this money into that, right? So I'm going to give a detailed commentary. But anyways, let's complete this thought. You move to a different asset. This is another option. Third is that you go and buy index, right? So this could be, for example, अभी small cap index जो है उसमें काफी गिरावट आ गई. Should you be buying it? Should you not be buying it? Should you buy Nifty 50, which is the collection of top 50 stocks in India? So all this stuff you could potentially consider, right? एंड फाइनली आ जाता है दैट यू गो टू एन ऑल्टरनेट एसेट, जैसे कि मैंने आपको बॉन्ड इन्वेस्टिंग बताया, राइट? So you can go and do bond investing via Incred. So that's an option that you can definitely check out. If you have to go and buy something like, let's say, a real estate, that can also be potentially done, right? So all these options are there. Which option should you execute depends on what your current portfolio looks like. So step one, or whatever discussion I'm going to have from this point onward, really depends on your portfolio mix. What is your current portfolio? How you are seeing risk in the market? Do you have opportunities in real estate? Do you have opportunities in bonds? Are you looking for making slightly more riskier investments, or go to small caps in that sense? If you're looking to put this 70 lakhs of your money into completely safe things or safer things, then something like Nifty 50 might work out better. या आप म्यूचुअल फंड में जा सकते हो वगैरह वगैरह. सो बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं, राइट? यू हैव टू थिंक अबाउट इट. सो ऑफकोर्स आई विल नॉट बी एबल टू कवर ऑल दीज पॉइंट्स, इसलिए मैं आपसे बोलता हूँ कि कम्युनिटी मेंबरशिप ज्वाइन कर लो. स्लोली यू विल स्टार्ट डेवलपिंग मोर acumen in terms of investing. If you are a big ticket investor, like investing more than 10 lakhs, then I would really recommend some of my courses. You guys can go and check out the reviews of those courses. You will find people to be really happy with it. मैं कोई ad नहीं चलाता. Everything is word of mouth publicity. Everything is taught in a structured point wise format. So you are able to grasp entire thing in a very succinct manner. Okay. So anyways, let me come back and let me now start demonstrating some live example as to how am I looking to reinvest this money a little bit, right? That's A. Second, why did I sell these stocks? Was it the case that I lost faith on these stocks? The short answer is yes and no. So let me give a very quick explainer as to why am I selling these stocks. So I will teach you 4 basic points here, and बहुत complicated भी मैं कर सकता था, लेकिन I am trying to explain it to you this high level advanced concept. ये काफ़ी advanced चीज़ है जो मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ. I am trying to explain it to you in simple language. Okay, see, some of these stocks I purchased and I have lost faith on them, right? A classic case study would be something like NMDC Steel, right? I don't see too much commodity demand picking up from this point unless China revival happens. So for me, the mid-term, short-term, long-term prospects of something like NMDC Steel is not really great. I don't see it growing at 15% plus CAGR. So I am out, I am okay, booking my loss and moving on, end of story. मैंने बहुत टाइम पहले बेच दिए थे स्टील स्टॉक्स. देयर वाज हार्डली लिटिल बिट ऑफ NMDC लेफ्ट फॉर मी. आई ऑलवेज थॉट कि यार यू नो व्हाट, लेट इट ग्रो अ लिटिल बिट, देन आई विल सेल इट दिस दैट, बट नेवर गॉट एन अपॉर्चुनिटी. नाउ आई एम जस्ट बुकिंग द लॉस एंड मूविंग ऑन. ओके, सो दिस इज वन दैट आई हैव लॉस्ट फेथ. नाउ सम ऑफ द अदर स्टॉक्स माइट ऑल्सो फॉल इनटू दैट. फॉर एग्जांपल इन IIFL, this was a quick swing trade, and आप यहाँ से देख सकते हो the amount of money that I invested in it, very less compared to the type of money that I invest on. That was literally my first installment of building possession on this stock. That swing trade failed, and it's okay. चलो अभी हाल फिलहाल बुक कर लेते हैं. If I find a better time to rebuy it, I might rebuy it. If not, it's fine, not end of the world, right? So some of the stocks I seem to have lost faith, right? And it's okay because market circumstances, market dynamics change. So वो होता है. Second key point, there are stocks 100% which I will rebuy, right? A classic case study is something like Aavas, which is my most loss making stock. करीब 12.5 लाख का लॉस बुक करा है मैंने. This is the most loss making stock I'm holding in my portfolio. इसमें my total loss was somewhere around 34%, right? So 34% पे था. And the reason why I've written this selling price, because I intend to buy this. So I'm just keeping a track कि यार मैंने उसको किस प्राइस पे बेचा था. So this is an Excel spreadsheet that I will save with me. So this is a definite rebuy. Now when I am going to buy it, most likely immediately. By immediately I mean ऐसा नहीं कि यार 3:29 पे खरीद लूँगा आज. No, not like this, or not maybe like in 1-2 days, but definitely like within a month's time max is when I'm going to rebuild my entire position on Aavas, because I trust the stock. I see the business fundamentals to be good. So no issues there. अभी हाल फिलहाल मेरे को टैक्स ऑफसेटिंग का एडवांटेज मिल जाएगा इसमें. ओके, नाउ देयर आर सम स्टॉक्स व्हिच आई माइट रीबाय लेटर, राइट? फॉर एग्जांपल, मे बी आई हैव अ 6-month विंडो ऑन दैट. समथिंग लाइक लाल पैथ लैब, राइट, एंड समथिंग लाइक डिवीज लैब माइट फॉल इन दिस कैटेगरी, बिकॉज अभी कुछ कंपनियों ने रनअप भी दे दिया था. दीज कंपनीज हैव अ स्लोअर ग्रोथ रेट. मैं यहाँ से स्क्रीनर से निकाल के आपको डेटा भी दिखा देता हूँ. तो बोथ यू कैन सी दैट डिवीज लैब and Lal Path Lab both have been little bit slow growth firms for me. So therefore I am not touching them. As of now, I will just reassess the situation in 3-4 months and see. करना होगा कर लें या ना जान दो, right? So that's the simple point. Okay, now Third key point why you might be selling some of your stocks or doing tax loss harvesting is that it's a portfolio rebalancing game. Now, just to give you an example, something like India Bulls Housing Finance. Now, here you can see that I have India Bulls Real Estate also. इस पे मेरे काफ़ी बढ़िया returns बने हुए हैं. India Bulls Housing Finance पे मेरा थोड़ा लॉस चल रहा था and मेरा portfolio उतना बड़ा नहीं था on India Bulls Housing Finance compared to India Bulls Real Estate. Now, what I feel is that if, let's say, India Bulls Housing Finance starts running, then India Bulls Real Estate will also run, right? From that perspective. Now, because I'm already holding India Bulls Real Estate in my portfolio as of now, I don't necessarily need this stock. So this is more like a portfolio rebalancing point for me. Final point that you could think about is that you are trying to create an opportunity fund by selling ये loss making इनको बेचो. Let's create the money. For example, we got like 70 lakhs. Now, then we will figure out a better time to reinvest this entire money at a later date. या हो सकता है कि आपके पास पैसे खत्म हो गए हो and you need new capital, so to say, to reinvest at a better time. So therefore, this entire money can go into your opportunity fund. Again, you guys can go and do like bond investing on it. वो safe रहेगा आपका थोड़ा सा पैसा and you will still be making like good 9 to 11% return. And जो Holi Sale चल रही है उसमें you are getting additional returns also. So please definitely go and check out the description box and you will get more idea about it. So to cut the long story short, in my case, these are the three primary reasons why I've sold it. So this fourth reason is not really applicable to me, but it might be applicable to a bunch of investors. So then comes the natural question that when is it that you should not be doing tax loss harvesting? अब देखो यार, if everything is in green, तब तो कोई मतलब ही नहीं बनता because आप बेचोगे तो then it will become a part of your capital gains and you will have to pay taxes on it. So tax loss harvesting does not come into the equation. Second key reason is that you might have all your money in mutual funds and you don't know when to exit mutual fund. Now this is the biggest problem with mutual funds, that it will be very hard for you to understand when to sell it, when to do tax loss harvesting on it. It's much easier to do tax loss harvesting on individual stocks because आपको partial exit मिल जाती है. On top of that, mutual funds में the primary problem is that there is an exit load that is applied, especially if you're doing short term thing कि 12 महीने से पहले if you're selling your mutual fund, most likely you are going to pay an exit load. Now that can be very, very high. It will just be bad, right? So don't get into that. If you are a pure mutual fund investor, the chances are that it will be really difficult for you to offset your taxes. There are two exceptions here. One is that if you are invested in a thematic fund, for example, आपने infrastructure fund में invest किया था and for some reason the fund fell, right? And now you are very clear कि infrastructure में I see very average growth, so यार loss book कर लेते हैं. Now that is sensible, right? So you can exit it because you have a very clear idea कि यार infrastructure में इतनी growth नहीं होगी for whatever reason, और आपने pharma fund में करा हो something उसमें, so thematic में it's easier. Second exception is that if you are investing in index fund, जैसे small cap 250 है, small cap 250 had given a lot of run up. Now on the member community also, I explicitly said that I'm exiting my position in small cap 250 and I'm cutting some of my positions, booking profits वगैरह वगैरह. So I have already said that. Why? Because it is easy to ballpark it कि यार बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ चुका है. So you could potentially book some profits or 50% profits or how much ever profits you want to book. So if you are in index, you can again track it. You can get an assessment if it is fairly valued, overvalued, undervalued, and cut or buy positions. So one of the key investment options I'm now starting to build up is index 250, right? So it is small cap 250 index. Why? मेरा पहले बहुत अच्छा प्रॉफिट बना हुआ था. I had exited my position. Now I am rebuying it. Why? Because अपनी टॉप से, right, from the top it has fallen roughly 16-17%. It's fine यार, अभी हो सकता है कि थोड़ा सा और गिर जाए, तो I have started to build my positions from here. Now हो सकता है यहाँ गिर जाए, then I'll build more positions here. Then हो सकता है यहाँ गिर जाए, then I'll build more positions here. So to cut the long story short, I'm already buying this at a very good margin of safety to begin with. I'm okay with that. I see scope of growth in small cap, mid cap. अभी आप लोग मेरे पे चढ़ोगे कि अच्छा why is it that पूरी दुनिया बोल रही है कि mid cap, small caps are overvalued, you are buying it. I only buy when things are in panic, okay? And it's okay. I'm okay to hold it at a loss, right? So that's not an issue for me. When everything is euphoric, I sell, right? So I do the opposite, and that is what I would also suggest that you guys look more into, gain practical understanding on it, because that is the real way of making money, booking profits. ये profit booking की जो बात मैं बोलता रहता हूँ इसलिए बोलता हूँ because it not only allows you to make money in the stock market, but it also allows you to offset your losses by doing tax loss harvesting. अब आप buy and forget हो जाओ तो आप कभी capital gains offsetting कर ही नहीं पाओगे. So all these basic points are there, and therefore you should try to become a slightly more knowledgeable player in the stock markets. Now, third key point of not doing tax loss harvesting is very simple, that you should not be doing it on momentum stocks. For example, आप ये मान के चलो कि HDFC Bank is trading at 1415 and in the last 1 month there has been a little bit of positive momentum on the stock, right? Now you sell it today for tax loss harvesting, right? And you wait for a week, so you wait for 7 days and इतने में यार HDFC Bank moves by like 5%, right? So never sell stocks which are in a positive momentum. How to find positive momentum? Probably I'll write a community post, but to cut the long story short, momentum stocks को ना बेचें which are in a positive momentum, right? If you sell it, then you might have a harder time buying it. It's very simple. Similarly, do not sell momentum sectors. For example, काफी सारे sectors हैं अभी which are in a positive momentum and काफी सारे हैं which are in a negative momentum. For example, energy stocks are somewhat in a negative momentum. For example, real stocks are in a negative momentum. So negative momentum में if you are doing tax loss harvesting, it makes sense. Do not do the opposite. So okay, so now before you get scared, because I know that I've shared some of these stock names, many of you might be holding it and you will say कि यार अक्षत, you know what, आपने बेच दिए सारे stocks, डर लग रहा है, why are we holding it, this that. So मैं आपको थोड़ी सी और commentary दे देता हूँ, very quick though, because I will not have time to discuss all these specific stocks in massive details. So number one, मैं आपको मान्यवर के बारे में बताता हूँ. मान्यवर right now is a slow growth company, therefore I have sold it. I don't think it's a bad stock, it's a good stock, no problem there. Second, IIFL for me was a failed swing stock, so मैंने वो बेच दिया है, आप यहाँ से देख सकते हो. Third key thing, मैंने आपको इंडिया बुल्स रियल एस्टेट, इंडिया बुल्स हाउसिंग फाइनेंस का बता दिया है. Whirlpool, I will be cutting position, I have not cut it, I have just written it here. I will sitting at a loss of roughly 6.5 lakhs on it, 36% के आसपास का लॉस चल रहा है मेरा. And this I might be cutting it, I am not sure, because I अभी जैसे Voltas which I had on my portfolio, it has started to give very good run up, so I am holding it. So I am hoping that consumer durables में there will be revival of demand, right? So please understand that, and therefore I am holding my position till like maybe like 31st of March. तब देखेंगे, काटनी होगी तो काट लेंगे पोजीशन, अदरवाइज विल रिटेन इट. ओके, SBI cards I'm not selling at all, right? Even now I'm not selling. I believe in the stock, I'm going to hold it, not a problem. लाल पैथ मैंने आपको बता दिया है, NMDC मैंने आपको बता दिया है. फाइनल 2-3 पॉइंट्स. नंबर 1 कि भाई अक्षत आपका लॉस ही लॉस है. नहीं भाई, लॉस ही लॉस नहीं है, बहुत प्रॉफिट है. इट्स जस्ट दैट कुछ स्टॉक्स नहीं चलते हैं, एंड दैट्स अ पार्ट एंड पार्सल ऑफ इन्वेस्टिंग, दैट यू विल इन्वेस्ट मे बी लाइक यू विल इन्वेस्ट इन 20 themes in a particular year and 5-6 of them will fail big for you. 10 में you are going to make like average returns, 5 में you will make crazy returns. So that way your overall CAGR of the portfolio needs to be intact. You should be comfortable with it. You should be able to carry forward your position. All this is a part and parcel of investing. If you're not a sensible investor, आप यार बस दिन भर बैठ के प्राइस ही ट्रैक करते रह जाओगे, कभी कुछ नहीं होगा. So don't do that. Always be diversified. Always manage your risks. This is very critical. Number 2, you should focus on portfolio building. कि यार tax loss harvesting is a great thing, but at the same time you're doing tax loss harvesting to refine your portfolio. So look at it not just as a tax saving instrument, but opportunity to prune your portfolio, restructure your portfolio. On that note, go and watch this video. It's a very useful video. You will learn a lot about portfolio building. And if you enjoyed this advanced level discussion, do share it with your friends. Do press the like button. It would allow these type of videos reach out to more investors and will educate them in a true sense. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.